And we're live.
I don't know if people are into conspiracy theories more or if I've just observed more people who are into them, but I've taken an interest in how people get wrapped up in it. And I think there's a little fun in knowing a little more than you do. You know, you're falling for it. I know the earth is flat, right? You're suckered by big NASA and mainstream media and all that nonsense, but I know I'm one of the few who understands the truth. The earth is flat, gravity's fake, it's all magnets, and you don't buy, like, you've been suckered by school. And it elevates me to this position that's better than your position because you think gravity and round earth, idiot. And I feel like there's a lot of that happening. And that's one way that people get manipulated into joining cults, into falling for fake news, into like, it just, hey, you know, those guys, they think they're elites. They think they're so smart. They've been to space. No, they haven't. No, they haven't. You're the smart one because you know the actual truth.
Now, we have been to space, but the moon is ludicrous, Woody. I feel you trying to edge that point in and expect I'm not going to come back at you, which I will. You know, I don't know enough about moon denial.
I know.
Not even there.
I think people like feeling smart. I think intelligence is like, or having a voice in the conversation is like, you know, like if the first time I remember years ago, someone spoke to me about flat earth when I realized it was like coming back, and I was like on a stream and a guy was like, I was playing with people and he was like, yeah, flat earth, you know, cause like that's actually how it is. And I was like, wait, what? And he was like, yeah, flat earth. And he started talking like seriously about flat earth. Now I remember this moment specifically because I was like listening. I was like, continue, because I couldn't believe that I was hearing it, that flat earth was a thing that people thought for real. So I was like, whoa. And then I realized, like, after, when I was just like, okay, anyways, that's the dumbest thing ever, I realized I gave that guy about like 12 minutes of undivided attention while he spoke about all the things that he knew about flat earth. And I think that's the high he's searching. Like, when else do people stop and listen to you? Now, I was flabbergasted and I was like, this is fucking dumb. But the whole time I was like, wait, continue? Wait, what else do you think? I needed to know everything. And I think in that moment there, he was kind of like, he was thriving, like in that moment, like, yeah, listen to me. I will tell you how you are wrong. I will be the one that will open your eyes. And I think he was chasing that moment of, you know.
His takeaway from it might be, I just convinced another one. I just, you know, taught this guy, like,
and I was so like flabbergasted. I was like, this is a thing. And then more and more it became a thing, and more people have, like, you know, their thoughts and their things. And I just think, like, when I look on Facebook a lot, I'm like, oh, people just like being smart about a subject or just having that hot take. People love having a hot take. They love, like, oh, you thought that was good? That wasn't even good. I hate that, like, you know.
That's the most milquetoast take as an example of a hot take. It's just the most Canadian thing. Hey, you know, that's not that thing you're favoring there. It's not even any good.
Not sorry.
The part about the carts of darkness thing is they're all just like, hey, bud, you want to let me go there first, bud? Yeah, you can have the cans. Yeah, just let me go first, bud. Yeah, no problem, buddy. Okay, bud. All right, friend. And it's just like the most friendly homeless people I've ever seen.
Harley, as soon as I heard you were the guest, I thought, do you have a new audiobook?
No, I don't have an audiobook, but what you were just saying, I fucked up. What you were just saying before, I don't know if you I'd ever listened to it, but there's this podcast that specifically talks about the YouTube algorithm and how it unintentionally created people that got wrapped up in conspiracies. Did you hear that podcast?
No, but I'm familiar with this theory that, like, basically YouTube and Facebook, for that matter, give you things that you like. You know, so they say, aha, people like you enjoy flat earth and anti-gravity theories and stuff. So I give you more and more, and you get wrapped into it. And it doesn't present you the kind of things you don't like. So if there's an alternative theory, well, my group hates that thing. So I just get deeper and deeper into whether it be news or conspiracy theories or whatever that confirm my worldview.
Yeah, this podcast, I think it might be called I think it's a New York Times podcast. And it was like just a limited series, but they interviewed the guy that made the YouTube algorithm that will show you the things that you like And he noticed from like 2015 to like 2017, it was making a lot of people like really extreme about their views on certain things, because they would watch a video and then another video and then another video. And now before they know it, they're watching like some guy talk like for 2 hours about a particular subject, but you're only getting that echo chamber over and over again. And they have this guy on the podcast. I forget the name right now, but if you can Google it and see, I'll let you know, or I'll just send it. But it revolves around that. I think you'd be quite interested in that in itself.
It makes sense why they would do it.
QAnon's having some sort of crisis right now. It's interesting to me because I follow it a little bit. And they had been predicting that Trump would win, that Trump was going to take down these global pedalist vampire pedos, whatever. And when he lost the race, it's like, ooh, now QAnon, explain this. Explain how your inside information was wrong. And it's been total media blackout since the election, which is a long.
Well, the election's not over yet.
Well, yeah, it's not over yet. They haven't sent electors or anything, and there's like going to be suing and shit. But like, so is QAnon supposed to? It's not supposed to be one guy.
Nancy Pelosi might end up being
There's one guy. His name is Q, and he's kind of in charge. There's maybe some secondary, I'll call them lieutenants, but it's a guy.
I didn't know if it was like a. Okay, so it's supposed to be one guy. And then he does
drops, and there's a term for it. I forget what the term is, but you know, he makes his pronouncements. Hey guys, I'm on the inside, and this is this new thing that I've learned, and you know, this is how it all ties together and makes sense. But he's been silent since the election, so.
The podcast is called Rabbit Hole, by the way, and there is a whole QAnon episode that starts from you remember that guy held up his hand in court and had the Q. He had killed like some mobster. It was a couple years ago, and he held it was like the beginning of just the whole QAnon thing being public. And they speak to a girl who was like how she got into like being all about QAnon, and then they ended up putting something out that was like like what you're talking about, but it was very like religion based at the beginning. And it was talking about the Bible and such, and she just was like, that's what turned me off, because she was like, I knew that it became like a controlling mechanism when you're using that as like the prior. She was like, I thought we knew someone that was like really in there, but this is her opinion. She was like, I thought we knew someone that was like inside, but no, it's just a person who's doing the shtick again of trying to control people, and it works on a lot of people because, you know, religion is just an access point. And it's interesting. Yeah, it's called Rabbit Hole, by the way.
Rabbit Hole.
There's not many episodes of it, but it was great.
Well, it makes sense. That's why they would set it up. I mean, like, if I'm looking up a bunch of videos of 18th century cooking, they want to keep me on the site as long as possible. They're going to keep serving me up with more of that gentleman's
I don't know
video.
why you like that 18th century cooking.
It's just a great channel, man.
Oh, no, it's not.
He loves it.
I've never heard
it. It's called Townsend and Sons.
Here.
Townsend and Sons, and this guy is so autistic for the 1700s, and it's really good to see. Like, he gets all dressed up, he makes the hardtack and explains about what
they had some black people on, so everyone in the show wears like period appropriate clothing.
Oh Jesus!
And they have the black guys on, and then
please tell me he had like no shirt on, but like torn pants.
They've got like the chains from like the Chappelle show. Like,
you know what? Actually, I know exactly the episode you're talking about. And what jumped out at me wasn't that. What jumped out at me was, people weren't that fat back then.
No, certainly not a black man. There were no black men that overweight back then.
Nobody was that fat back then.
He would have been that well fed or that underworked.
I see that picture of that guy you guys are talking about, but what I saw, it's not about role playing though. He's not like, is he like acting like it's the 18, or is he just like, here's what they did and talking to you?
The black guy is more like demonstrating. The other guy's more like, no, come into it with me. Come, come on, be the guy in the 1700s.
We're there.
Be that guy. We're there.
I'm trying to see how much role playing is involved here by this guy with the show. Like, how much does he role play it? Like the 18th century aspect.
He's not like going like, oh, tally
more educational.
Like, it's more just like, yeah, it's educational and it's fun to learn.
But he's dressed up.
Yeah,
I see the picture.
It adds to the fun.
I'm gonna check this.
It'd be different if he dressed up like one. I would like it if he did like different time periods, like every episode, and he was always dressed up as something different. That might be cool to me, but it's like he's always stuck in like the set like 1747 or some shit, wearing that goofy ass hat and like making beer out of.
You
like,
are right. I wish he would branch out a bit.
The 1780s.
Whatever.
He does all sorts of them.
Lots of
Good.
ruffles, lots of silly hats. Those hats that are like a triangle on your head, like
Ugliest hat. Never liked that hat.
worst hat. That
one hat
Paul
I didn't
Revere
vibe with.
special.
I didn't vibe with that one.